As far as them like advocating for campaigning and voting for Biden, I would argue that in that case that was a necessity. Now, did they spend too much time advocating for that? Probably, but I do think that on a number of very serious issues facing this country, from climate change to healthcare to COVID-19 to LGBT rights to immigration to taxation to even foreign policy in a number of areas, I would say that Biden was demonstrably better than Trump in a myriad of different ways. And I think that just from the consequentialist perspective, we should vote for him on that issue. Now, that doesn't mean that once he's in power, we should ruthlessly criticize him for the many terrible things he will likely do. Of course, we should, and we will, I imagine, or at least I will. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they are just cuts to the Democratic Party, but I hope that they will legitimately criticize the Democrats and Biden, as I will, when they do things that I do not like.
If it was necessary to vote for Biden, then the amount of Voshites and breadtube people who wasted their time going to vote for him must have been decisive in winning the election for him. Now, wouldn't they have been? Now, if they were so decisive in winning the election for Biden, don't you think they could have leveraged their strategic position to actually get Bernie elected in the primary? Couldn't they have told the Democrats, we're the decisive ones who are going to decide the general election. Therefore, if we don't get Bernie, we're not going to vote. That way, the Democrats would have to cave in or else risk a Trump presidency, which they may very well would have. And if they would have done something like that, that would have been easy grounds for splintering off into a new party, for splitting the party in half. They didn't leverage their supposed position, and the reason for that probably is that they have no such decisive position. They wasted their time voting for Biden, even though it didn't make a fucking difference as far as the outcome of the election was concerned. And now we're going to stick that waste of time decision onto them, and we're not going to let them get away with the idea that, well, superficially, Biden was pro-LGBT and Biden was pro-climate change. None of that actually matters. These are superficial, completely superficial ideological and political positions that do not reflect the actual material essence of Biden's position. Biden claims to be more willing to address the issue of climate change, that it says nothing about his ability to actually do that in material reality. Biden claims to be more progressive, but does that mean Biden is able to actually be progressive? Those are two entirely different things. There is no relationship to them whatsoever. The only people who can actually affect real change in America are those who are willing to, from top to bottom, sweep the establishment clean. Sweep the people who are impediments to the changes that are necessary to empower the working people and the working families of America. Not Joe Biden nor any other Democrat shill stooge is going to be able to affect that. When this excuse that we're going to vote for Biden and then critique him when he's in power is a complete evasion of responsibility. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want to vote for Biden and not take the fallout and and take responsibility for what you did. You can't have it both ways. If you want to vote for Biden because you ultimately think this is necessary to stop Trump, you go ahead, but you weigh the positives and negatives and you stick with it. You don't say, I'm going to vote for Biden and then ruthlessly critique him. You voted for him. That's like saying you're going to suck his cock and then you're going to slap him in the face, but you sucked his cock, dude. You sucked his cock.
The idea that